Today we're going to do a practice for the dodge and burn tool. You're going to go up here to File, Open, and you're going to go into the P drive, Photo Demo Examples, Dodge and Burn Tool, and you're going to open up image 6048. Alright, so I want you to duplicate this layer, and you're going to call it Working Image. Okay, so you duplicate the layer. So we're only going to be practicing the dodge and burn tool with this project. What I want you to do is I want you to zoom in. I want you to go Control plus, and I want you to zoom in, and I want you to look at the details of the castle a little closer. You can also go up to Window, Navigator, and you will see here that you can click on this little red square and you can move up and down. And you can also slide this so it goes in closer. So what we're going to do today is we're going to figure out what we need to burn and what we're going to dodge. So we're doing a practice. So I only want you to just work on a few areas. So what I want you to do is I want you to burn the top of the rail, the stone railing. We're going to make that darker. We're going to burn the white shield, and we're going to burn the right side of this hanging flag. Okay, so we're going to start with the burning first, and we're going to do it on the working image layer. So, burning tool is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tools down on our vertical toolbar. And we're going to right click and we're going to select the burn tool. Okay, so here is the burn tool. We're going to set our exposure to 30%. Okay? 30%. Okay? Oh, that's a big brush. So we're going to come over here. We're going to make sure we have a nice soft round brush, and we're going to bring it down. I want my brush to be about as wide as this area in here. So I need to move this up a little bit. Alright, so that's about as wide as the railing. And I'm just going to do a swooping motion down. And actually I'm going to make my brush maybe a little smaller, maybe slightly, so I don't go over the edges. I don't want to go over the edges. So maybe I'll come down a little smaller, and I want to just darken this top a little bit so it's not so bright. Okay, so there's before and there's after. Before and after. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to burn this. Darken this a little bit. Oh, I don't want to make a line though. You'll notice here that I have kind of like a line going down. So let's undo that. Let's go in our history. Window, history. Make sure our history is on. A little check mark next to it. And let's bring out our history here, and let's go back one step to get rid of that line. So if I don't want to make a line in here, I'm going to have to probably have a bigger brush. Just slightly bigger brush to go across that area. So I'm going to make a bigger brush, and I'm going to burn this area in here just a little bit with a bigger brush. I'm going to go back one step and make a little bit bigger brush. So I'm filling in the area. Okay, so if we look at this again, I'll make a smaller brush just for the corner up here. I'm just going to darken this edge here. There's before and there's after. And we can see a huge difference now. We have a little more detail in the stone on the top here. We don't want to overdo it though, because if we overdo it, then it's going to look really weird. Okay, so before and after. Okay, so now I am going to burn the shield here and just get a little more, add a little more detail in that shield. So the brush I'm using is about the same size as the shield, and I'm just burning that. And look at the difference. And let's back up on this. If we slide this, and we can back up on it just to see how it's going to look when it's smaller and full size. There we go. So that's the burning tool. We're going to come up here and do a little more on the shield on this part. Let's zoom in really close on that hanging flag. It's kind of burn a little bit in there, make a smaller brush. If you do the bracket keys on your keyboard, you can change the size of your brush very quickly by just changing the bracket keys. You can make your brush smaller or bigger using the bracket keys. Okay, so now we've done the burning tool. So now we're going to switch over to the dodge tool. So the dodge tool, it looks like a round circle with a wand, and this is the dodge tool right here, and we're going to make sure that we're at a 30% exposure. And the dodge tool is going to lighten the areas. So let's see, maybe I want to lighten underneath the castle, along the tower, along the top of the tower. Maybe just lighten these areas up a little bit. Maybe lighten the sides here a little bit. Maybe lighten the gate. Okay, so I think a 125 size brush is probably fine. I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of dodge this area a little bit. Just kind of lighten this area up in here. And we can see the before and the after. I'm going to lighten the edge here on the side of the gate. Along the side of the railing. I'm going to lighten the gate a little bit. Maybe zoom in a little closer and see what I'm doing in here a little closer. So I'm going to lighten this up. So I see a little more details on the inside of the gate here. And here's before and here's after. We can see a difference. We can see that the sides here are lightened a little bit. The gate's lightened a little bit. Okay, and then if I come up here, I'm going to maybe lighten these little shadowed areas underneath here. Just lighten that up a little bit. And if we turn off the working image, we can see the before and after. And just lighten these areas in here a little bit. And I'm just clicking and clicking. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing my left click. Okay, if I do my right click, it's going to bring up my brush size. I don't want that. I don't want to bring up my brush click. I'm just doing a left click here on my mouse to lighten this area. And here's before, and here's before and after. We can see a difference now. Okay, and then I'm going to also lighten the side of this wall here a little bit. Bring this down. Okay, I'm going to lighten this area in here. Before and after. And now I'm going to back up all the way to full size. There we go. And we can see that we've done quite a bit of lightening in here, lightening along the side, lightening down the side of the stone railing, and now we're just going to lighten in here underneath the top of the tower a little bit. I'm just left clicking and lightening this up. I'm not going to do anything with the sky. I really like that black sky. But before, that's the before, and that's the after. Before and after. And that's all we're going to do. We're just going to lighten and darken those areas just to get practice with working with the dodging tool.